Most people are taught a simple strategy for building wealth: buy assets, wait for them to grow, and eventually sell them for cash. But some wealthy individuals use a different strategy, often called buy, borrow, die. Now, the name sounds dramatic, but the concept behind it is actually very simple. In this video, I'm going to break it down in a clear and educational way so you understand how the strategy works. Remember, this is financial education only, not financial advice. The first step is buy. This means purchasing assets that grow over time. An asset is anything that has the potential to increase in value or produce income. Examples include stocks, real estate, businesses, investment funds. Instead of constantly buying and selling, the goal is to hold strong assets long term. Over time, many assets grow because businesses expand, properties appreciate, and economies develop. So the focus becomes ownership. Owning assets is often the foundation of long-term wealth. The second step is borrow. Instead of selling the asset and triggering taxes, some investors choose to borrow against the value of their assets. For example, someone with a large investment portfolio or valuable real estate may be able to take a loan, using that asset as collateral. This can provide access to cash without selling the asset. The asset remains invested and can continue to grow. Another reason this strategy is discussed is because selling assets may trigger capital gains taxes, while borrowing is generally considered a loan rather than taxable income. However, borrowing still carries risks and responsibilities, so understanding the concept is important. The final part of the concept relates to what happens when assets are passed down to heirs. In some tax systems, inherited assets may receive something called a step-up in cost basis. This means the value of the asset is adjusted to the current market value at the time it is inherited. Because of this adjustment, heirs may avoid paying capital gains taxes on the asset's previous growth. Tax rules can change over time, but this part of the strategy helps explain why many long-term investors focus on holding assets across generations. So the basic idea behind buy, borrow, die is simple. Buy assets that grow. Borrow against those assets if liquidity is needed, and eventually those assets may be passed down to the next generation. The key lesson isn't about avoiding selling forever. The key lesson is understanding the power of owning assets long term, because assets are often one of the strongest foundations for building wealth over time. Financial education only. Always do your own research before applying any strategy.